Coming up on Today in History, you'll probably never guess who was given the name Issur Danielovitch at birth. He was, and still is, months after his passing, a household name in the United States of America. Also coming up today, this wasn't COVID-19, nor was it COVID-1984 or COVID-1969. It went global nearly 4,000 days earlier and was declared eradicated on this day. Curious? Keep watching. Actually, please, this is important and may save your life or the lives of your loved ones. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Sonia Gandhi. If you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing to my channel. I hope you've been enjoying it so far. If you're a returning visitor, why not subscribe so that you receive updates of my video uploads? Again, I hope you also enjoy my videos. If you're here for the first time, thank you for dropping by. I share important events that happened on this day in history. The idea is that we learn from the positive and the negative events. The negative events are even more important because they serve as a pointer on how to prevent the negative events that are occurring today from blowing up to something uncontrollable. At the outset, I did talk about COVID-19 and COVID-1984. I'm going to expand on COVID-1984 for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about. Now, this author, English author, George Orwell, who wrote the book 1984, and in this book, he talks about Big Brother, who is watching you all the time. Like your normal Big Brother. Big Brother now is a metaphor for surveillance, surveillance cameras. Apparently, London is the most surveilled city in the world. And there are fears with the COVID-19 vaccine now. Millions of people around the world think it's a mechanism to control all of us. Millions of people think there's going to be a microchip in the vaccine. So as you're being injected with the vaccine, a microchip would be inserted under your skin so that you're being monitored 24/7, 365. Okay, but I'm just going to keep that hanging. Let's get back to the business of the day. So on this day in 1916, this man here, he was born Issur Danielovitch. Can you guess? Any guesses? Well, this is his much younger self. So if anyone recognizes this face, it is, of course, the guy who is more popularly known as Kirk Douglas. So believe it or not, that was his birth name, Issur Danielovitch. So he was born on this day in 1916, sadly passed on the 5th of February 2020, so less than a year ago. He was an American actor, producer, director, philanthropist, and writer. After an impoverished childhood with immigrant parents and 6 sisters, he made his film debut in The Strange Love of Martha Ivers. That was released in 1946. He made that movie with Barbara Stanwyck. Also, Douglas soon developed into a leading box office star throughout the 1950s, known for serious dramas, including westerns and war films. During his career, he appeared in more than 90 films. So that's the young Kirk Douglas who was born on this day in 1916. And that's him towards the end of his life. He lived a long, long, long life. As a centenarian. So Kirk Douglas, who was born on this day in 1916, he died at the age of 103 on the 5th of February 2020. 1922, on this day, Red Foxx, pictured here, was born. Again, that wasn't his real name. His name was John Elroy Sanford. He was born in St. Louis, Missouri. Foxx was an American comedian best known for his starring role on the television sitcom Sanford and Son. So essentially, he used his real name in the television show Sanford and Son. So born on this day, 1922, he died at the age of 69 on the 11th of October, 1991. Yeah, that's a more familiar face of Red Foxx, whose real name is John Elroy Sanford. Okay, 1929, Robert Hawke, pictured here, Prime Minister of Australia, was born. He died on the 16th of May 2019 at the age of 89. He died in Sydney, Australia. Born in Bordertown, Australia. Former Prime Minister of Australia, Robert Hawke. Next is Sonia Gandhi. Born on this day, 1946. She is an Indian politician. Happy birthday, Sonia Gandhi, daughter of Indira Gandhi, former Prime Minister of India as well, who was assassinated in 1984. I did feature her in a previous video, so go check it out. So this is Sonia Gandhi, Indian politician, daughter of former assassinated Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi. Also on this day, in 1934, Judi Dench, British actress, was born. That's a young Judi Dench, born on this day in 1934. So happy birthday to Judi Dench also. She is 86 today. 1950, on this day, singer Joan Armatrading, born Joan Basseterre in St. Kitts. She is most widely known for the hit single Love and Affection. So born on this day, singer Joan Armatrading. She was born in, she was born in Basseterre, St. Kitts. She is most widely known for the hit single Love and Affection. See if you can find some more pictures of her. That's Joan Armatrading, who was born on this day. She's 69, or she's 70, actually she's 70 years old today. So happy birthday, Joan Armatrading. Julius Nyerere. That's Julius Nyerere. This was the day that Tanganyika became independent with this man, President Julius Nyerere, or Prime Minister Julius Nyerere, as its first Prime Minister. In 1964, the territory united with the island of Zanzibar to form the country we now know as Tanzania today. Tanzania is in East Africa. So if you don't know what it is, Google it up. Beautiful country, beautiful turquoise seas. Beautiful. Zanzibar is absolutely amazing as well. So go check out Tanzania, check out Zanzibar, and find out more. 1965, on this day, a boy named Charlie Brown, the animated special, A Charlie Brown Christmas, featuring characters from Charles Schulz's popular Peanuts comic strip, first aired on American television, and it became a holiday classic. So that's A Boy Named Charlie Brown, which premiered on this day on American television in 1965. I did do a video on Charles Schulz a few days ago, so go check that out. If I find it, I will put the link right here, right now. 1979. Yes, so I mentioned this at the outset, and I said you should stay tuned for this because it's important. Some 10 years after the World Health Organization began a global vaccination program against smallpox, the disease was officially declared eradicated. So this is the smallpox virus under a microscope, and I shall show you. If you're queasy, look away now, but I think this is important. But if you're queasy, look away now. So I'm going to show you the someone who's been infected with smallpox. Smallpox is dead. Right, that's not the picture I'm looking for. So yeah, I finally found the picture I was looking for. So this was the day 1979 that smallpox was officially declared eradicated. So you can see from this picture here. Elimination of smallpox is one of the major successes in the history of science and medicine. So now, staying with this, let me perhaps take this picture away so that, I'm going to put something else related while I speak. So again, I did say you guys should stay and, watch at least the entirety of the video because this is important. I did talk about history repeating itself in some of my videos. Usually when I start off, I talk about history repeating itself, or not wanting history to repeat itself, especially if it's negative history. Now, let's talk about the anti-vaxxers. Now, at the time of speaking this, I'm neither here nor there, so I'm not biased. I'm still gathering information. A lot of people are skeptical about the vaccine. Perhaps it's lack of education. Again, I did mention that people think that this is a ploy to control billions of people around the world. Right, so we had a vaccine for smallpox decades ago, and it worked. Smallpox was eradicated. Okay, now I'm going to show you what the difference is between smallpox and chickenpox, first of all, before I continue. So go check this out. This is WebMD. That's the website, WebMD. So if you type in what's the difference between smallpox and chickenpox, you get this information. So you can feel free to dig in more. But smallpox and chickenpox, like it says here, might seem similar. They both cause rashes and blisters. They both have pox in their names, but other than that, they're completely different diseases. You really don't need to know how to tell them apart. That's because no one in the United States has had smallpox for more than 65 years. But there are still important things to know about both. Chickenpox is still around. Smallpox is pretty much extinct. Okay, so I did mention that it was declared eradicated in 1979. Okay, the declaration and the actual thing happening obviously are two different things. Point number 2 here, chickenpox is usually mild. Smallpox was often deadly. Number 3, doctors can tell chickenpox and smallpox apart. You can see those two pictures there. And then those are the main points really. Let's see. Let's go to the next page. Kids and some adults need the chickenpox vaccine. Almost no one needs the smallpox vaccine. Some experts worry that smallpox could be used as a weapon. Now that's a serious one. Okay, which people have alleged that COVID-19 was created in a lab in China. I don't know. I've heard that. I have no way of verifying if that's true or not. But this is where history comes in very handy. These things have happened before. Anyone could unleash smallpox, and it will kill millions of people if that happens. I hear it exists in 2 labs, one in America and one in one Eastern European country. Let me see if I can find locations. So these are the 2 locations. The smallpox virus officially remains in 2 World Health Organization collaborating centers. So one is in Kosovo in Siberia and the other in Atlanta, Georgia, United States of America. Okay, I'm not going to go on and on about this, but I think a lot of people want to wait and see, me included, to see how people respond to this vaccine once the rollout gets to a stage where maybe thousands or hundreds of thousands of people have been vaccinated, and give it time, 3 to 6 months perhaps, see what the fatality rate is, those who recover, those who don't recover. They say there's a 95% recovery rate, at least in the UK, or 95% effective. So we will wait and see. But the fact that history tends to repeat itself doesn't mean that history will always repeat itself. That's another point that I need to make as well. So again, my hunch tells me that this is a case of history repeating itself. So I'm not exactly 50-50 now. I'm probably 60% for and 40% against at the moment. But as news continues to unfold about the vaccine, the effective, what's the word now, how effective the vaccine is, then I guess I can be persuaded eventually to have it taken and to have my kids take it as well. Okay, but again, the idea is that we learn from history. That's why this channel exists. Right, let's move on now to the next important event that occurred on this day. In 1995, this guy, Representative Kweisi Mfume, it's a Ghanaian sounding name, but he's originally from Ghana. He was chosen to head the NAACP. So it's NAACP is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored Peoples. Kweisi Mfume is an American politician who is the U.S. representative for Maryland's 7th Congressional District, first serving from 1987 to 1996, and again since 2020. So basically, he made history just over a month ago. He first left his seat to become the president and CEO of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored Peoples, a position he held from 1996 to 2004. Last month, he won the 7th District Congressional seat over Republican Kimberly Classic. He scored a decisive victory over Classic, spelled K-L-A-C-I-K, winning more than 70% of the votes. So Kweisi Mfume, he was chosen on this day in 1995 to head the NAACP. He also won the 7th District Congressional seat over Republican Kimberly Classic on the 4th of November last month. So that is Representative Kweisi Mfume, Congressman and NAACP leader. So go check out this book by Elizabeth Tefera on Kweisi Mfume, African American biographies. Okie dokie, last but not least, 1998, and on this day, when the United Nations, this was the day the United Nations General Assembly declared anti-Semitism a form of racism. So, on this day, 1998, anti-Semitism was declared a form of racism. Okay, so on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of today's Today in History. Thank you for dropping by. Thank you for spending the nearly 20 minutes with me on this channel. Appreciate your support. Share, like, subscribe if you haven't done that already. And I shall see you tomorrow for another edition of Today in History. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.